All right, so now we're asked to sketch this quartic, and this is a nice one that's easy for us to factor. So I'm going to start just with my f of x and look for my zeros. So I can take out the x squared, and I'm left with x squared minus 4. This tells me that the zeros of my graph are going to be at 0, 2, and negative 2. Plugging those in, of course, if I plug in 0, I get back 0. Plugging in 2, I'm going to have 16 minus another 16 is 0. Of course, that makes sense because I found the zeros. Silly. Plus or minus 2, 0. So here's my zeros. Now with my first derivative, it's going to tell me stationary points. So first derivative, 4x cubed minus 8x. Factoring this out, I can see that stationary points are going to be at 4x. That's going to leave me with x squared minus 2. So now I've got stationary points at 0. Again, I know 0, 0. Plugging in root 2, I'm going to have 4 minus 8 is negative 4. That's going to be the same whether I plug in positive or negative root 2. So I said that that was going to be 4 minus 8 is negative 4. So here's my stationary points. I've got 3 of them. And now if I look at my second derivative, that's going to be 12x squared minus 8. Setting this equal to 0, 12x squared minus 8 is going to be x is plus or minus 8 over 12 is going to reduce to 2 over 3. So plus or minus root 2 over 3 is the x coordinates of the points of inflection. Notice that none of these are points of inflection. So I know that these are going to be maxes or mins. I can now use what I know about my quartic. So I know my quartic's is going to point up, and I've got 2 points of inflection, which tells me that, whoa, I'm not sure how that happened. All right. My quartic is going to look like this one. There are my 2 points of inflection. Here are my stationary points. And I know that it has this shape based on what I know about quartics. I could also go back and say, well, at 0, when I plug in 0 to this, I have a negative. That tells me concave down. So this point must be my max. And then if I plugged in root 2, plugging in root 2 is going to give me a positive value, which will give me concave up, which tells me that these points are my mins. So I could use my second derivative or what I know about the graph. Further, I know that this is one of my zeros, so I know that my x-axis is going to come through here. Here's my y-axis, pretending like it actually goes through that point. So I could come back and say that this point is negative 2, this point is 2. Down here is my positive root 2, negative 4, negative root 2, negative 4. Points of inflection are plugging in square root of 2/3 to find the y values.